All right, welcome to Chapter 2, Section 2, Characteristics of Quadratics. We are going to actually split it up a little differently than the directions in the book because we're trying to build a big picture of quadratics. And by the end of the chapter, we're going to know like everything there is to know about parabolas and more than you want to know. So I want to just start with vertex, axis of symmetry, minimum and maximum in video 1. In video 2, I'll do the remainder for this section. We're right now talking about page 56 to 59, numbers 1 through 4, 6 and 7. I'm skipping number 5. It's going to seem like a lot of information. In fact, you're probably going to want to pause right now, copy these equations down. We're doing the same thing. We're finding the same information, except we're going to get a parabola presented in vertex form, which we've actually seen before. In standard form, which you might remember from Algebra 1, and then in intercept form, which you've probably never seen before. So the formulas are in black. The vertex, how to find the vertex from the formula, is in blue. The axis of symmetry and how to find it, and the minimum maximum and how to find it, they're in purple for each one of them. So pause here, copy them down, and I'm going to use them in this video. All right, so that was your pause. Good job. You're back. Right now I want to start with page 57, number 2. And the question is g of x equals 2 times the quantity x minus 2 squared plus 5. And the directions say to find the vertex, axis symmetry. I'm going to add in the minimum and the maximum. So, all right, well, first I need to identify what type of form is it in, because that way I know what to do. Well, this has parentheses, a squared, something out there. It looks like it's in vertex form, and it is. So to find the vertex, it's actually just as simple as taking the opposite of h, so positive 2, remember everything in parentheses, always do the opposite, and then take your k. So my vertex is 2, 5. That's it. All right. Axis of symmetry. Well, my axis of symmetry, once I have my vertex, is going to be x equals that number. All right, well, for my axis of symmetry, x equals 2. Don't forget the x equals. I'll mark you off if you don't have it. And then finally, my minimum or maximum, well, that looks like I just copy down that number. So that number. So I actually have a minimum at 2. Oops, sorry. At 5. So vertex form, because it looks like that. Take the opposite of this, take that, put it in parentheses, put a v in front. Take that number, put an x equals in front, that's your axis of symmetry. Take that number, it's your minimum. How do I know it's the minimum? Does it tell me to graph? Yeah, it tells me to graph. So guess what I'm doing? I'm going to graph. Now that I know my vertex, I can make my t-chart. X and y. I don't have enough room right here, and I don't want to erase that for the next few problems. So if you remember from section 2.1, this is my middle point. 2 numbers that are smaller. 2 numbers, that was silly. 2 numbers that are bigger. All right, 2, 5, I already know. So now let me plug in 0. 0 minus 2 is negative 2 squared, 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. And, well, it's a parabola. It should be symmetrical. But just to check my work, you have a calculator. I don't right now. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. Good. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. All right, so what does this look like? Looks like a parabola that is mostly over here. So 2, 4, 8, 10, 12. Here's 13. So I have a point at 0, 13. I know this isn't very neat, and I know you do a better job than me. 1, 7, 2, 5, don't forget the parenthesis, 2, 5, parenthesis, 3, 7, and 4, 13. Try to be neat. I'm way better on paper than I am on the board when it comes to parabolas. I also forgot a point right here, 1, 7. So yeah, here's my parabola. What does it mean? Oh, sorry. How do I know it's a minimum? Well, it's a happy face, so at the bottom, the minimum, the bottom, that's 5. The y value is 5. So my minimum's at 5. And finally, if you're graphing this, guess what? You're graphing your axis of symmetry. It's a dashed line straight through the vertex, down farther, up farther, and you write x equals 2 because it's a line, x equals, it's dashed because it's imaginary, and yeah, this, if I cover this, you should be able to picture the reflection over the axis of symmetry. If I cover this, if I had a much better handwriting, you should be able to picture the reflection over the axis of symmetry. So that's how we find the vertex, axis symmetry, min or max from a parabola in vertex form. You can pause now, try number 1. I'm going to erase, I'm going to do number 4, and then you're going to do number 3. So page 57, number 1 right now.